Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshuranmanitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namah Vishnupadaya Krishnapristhaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatyadesatarine Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pungam Langayate Girim Kripa Tamam Bande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Hare Krishna. Thank you for the opportunity. We're continuing offense number 6. 6 to give some interpretations on the holy names. Actually, when we closely observe all these offenses, they come due to lack of shraddha and faith in the process. These are all the diseased conditions. These are the symptoms of a diseased person. For example, if a person has some disease, then in the medical history they give some symptoms. Oh, you have these, you have, then they will immediately ask, do you have these symptoms? I say yes. And that means this is, let us do a couple of tests and then confirm it. You have so and so disease. So likewise, the offenses which we are discussing, these are the diseased condition actually. We strongly understand the symptoms of how these things do come into our mentality and then stray us away from chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. When we learn these things, it's a very clear indication how, who, why one does interpretations. One would do interpretations when he doesn't have strong faith in the process. Actually, getting up early in the morning, doing our sadhana, hearing, and performing our prescribed duties. This is the this is a real state. We see through the life of Srila Prabhupada that no one is supporting him actually. He felt that, oh, this is like, this will help me to do this. The moment he felt that, then that would be taken away from him. Or he goes to some other place, and then he felt that this will give me an opportunity to connect. That is also taken away. He felt that the business which he is doing, which the money which comes from that business, he felt that he will use that money in the service of the spiritual master. That is also taken away. That means the calamities are coming. Calamities are coming. Through that calamities, the faith is actually increasing. Generally, when calamities come, the faith on the process will be decreased. That is when interpretation comes. If everything is going good, the interpretation will not come. When then there's a problem, that is when interpretation will come. Is this really working? Is this process really working? Do I have to chant? Or sometimes we do it for a couple of days and then we couldn't do it after that. Because this is all happening due to lack of faith, which is quite natural in this world. Because when we are learning something, for example, if you are riding a cycle for the first time, and then you're trying to learn. You're you're riding, but you'll fall down. Again, you'll try to get up. But somebody has to hold from behind to stabilize. Unless and until we learn how to balance, somebody has to hold us from behind. So that's a process. We will fall down. Again, we get up. Again, we fall down. Again, we get up. So likewise, the process is also like that. What are we trying to do is we are trying to put the put this like develop our faith. Shraddha Shabde Vishwasya Shraddhudanisya Krishna Bhakti Koil Sarva Karma Krito Hai. Shraddha Shabde Vishwasya Shraddhudanisya. When a person is in the Madhyama platform, then his faith is strong. That means he's practicing continuously. At that moment, the faith will become strong. That's also given as a mercy. But unless and until that faith is strong, the interpretations will continue. What is that interpretation? When a person really seriously aspires to become Krishna conscious, that is when these interpretations will come. That means he will see his life, though since 10 years I've been chanting, but still there is no hope. Why is happening like that? Because then he will question. I'm doing sadhana, I'm doing chanting, I'm doing hearing, I'm doing everything, but then why that thing is not there? Kind of interpreting. Why that thing is not there? Then he will approach. He'll approach the spiritual master and then he will inquire from him why these things are happening in my life. Then as an expert, just like an expert doctor, he will just by seeing him and then doing few reports, he would understand where the problem is. Likewise, our spiritual master, they know where the problem is. They will tell if you do this, then you will come out of this problem. But the problem is we have to do that. When we accept their instructions as is, then we can come out of that state. Then we'll be in a state to actually understand that why these interpretations are coming. These interpretations are coming due to lack of faith and conviction in the process. Just like Hiranyakashipu, even though he was a very powerful personality, he knows everything. He knows in and out. But still, if one person is against him, he couldn't accept that. He could have just ignored. Just a boy. Prahlad is a boy. He could have ignored him, but no. He was furious, but somehow, shape or form, his property or his kingdom can be taken away because his son is worshipping Vishnu. Krishna, he has in the core of the heart, somewhere it is there that just like Duryodhana also. He was doing everything. He was leading the kingdom, but still, some place he is not satisfied. Likewise, when the process is not taken fully, some places in the corner, not in the corner, if it is not taken correctly, there's a lot of impurities and anarthas in the heart which will actually trouble us. And there's a reason for that also. So, this interpretation will only come due to lack of faith. For sure. I'll give an example of a child who is flying in a plane, and then there is a notification, there is an announcement that there might be some turbulence, heavy turbulence. We don't know how the flight will react. And then it was really heavy turbulence. They don't know, whether the flight will continue or it might crash. They have no idea what's happening. So everyone is fearful. It's quite natural. But the child who is there, like she's like 8 years, 7 years, whatever, that girl, she's not fearful. And then this person is asking, why are you not fearful? And then she says, you know what, my father is a pilot, he will control this. So that faith, that Shraddha on a particular person is important. But now we see, do we have that kind of personalities where we can rely on them and then cultivate faith? Yes, our acharyas. They're that kind of personalities. Because they're not normal personalities. We should rely whatever they say, we should rely on them. And then the moment we rely on them and then continue doing our activities as per their words, then Shraddha will increase. Then Drudha Nishchaya will come. So that Drudha Nishchaya means firm conviction, firm determination. When that is there, then interpretation will not come. Because the faith is strong. Because how the faith will also increase? Through reflections. And how reflections comes? By following. Yajyad atirate sesat tattat eva taro janaha. Krishna personally showed that. He tells Arjuna, Arjuna, if I do not follow, if I do not do what I'm supposed to do, then these personalities, these people will not follow. So I need to lead as an example. And then Krishna led as an example, and then he showed Arjuna that this is how we should be. Not just Arjuna, to everyone. When calamities, problems, or difficulties comes, how do we approach? What do we do? We take shelter. We take shelter of these personalities. And we accept. In this scenario, there is no interpretations. Interpretations only come when we think that we are something. Something means we are always something. That something is on a superiority complex. When we have the idea of this superiority complex, when we think that we are superior, when we think that we know this, that, so many other things, then the interpretations will come. But every moment when we are grounded, that's why humility has a lot of power. Humility is powerful. That humility melts the heart of the Lord. That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu manifested in his life. He was humbly sitting when all those personalities, Prakashan and the Saraswati and his so many disciples, they were all sitting on a higher platform. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sat on a lower platform where people would wash their feet. Now, he's a sannyasi at that time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He's holding his zanda, very powerful, very, very vibrant. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prem Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanyaya Namne Gauratasya Namo. Krishnam Varnam Tvisha Krishnam Sangopangasya Parashadam. Tvisha Krishnam, he comes in a golden form. Yagnesh Sankirtane prior yajanti hi sumedasa. He will preach this chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra through Sankirtana. The spirit is Sankirtana. Sankirtana Priya. Through that spirit, what is he doing? Sankirtana prior ajanti is, because that is the essence in this Kali. And then what is he? How is he sitting? He's sitting on a lowly platform, right next to the people where they're washing their feet. And then he's just watching them. And then Prakashananda Saraswati is a impersonalist. His heart melted just by that gesture of the Lord. He's very innocently watching them. Hare Krishna. Unimaginable. Just imagine Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead, is sitting on a lowly platform. to teach them a lesson, because Krishna came as Lord Chaitanya is magnanimous actually. He's not using astra shastra, he's not using any weapons to kill. Because he cannot kill anyone in Kali Yuga, because the mentality has to be killed in Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, there is no two sects, two sectors that these are great people and these are like demonic. It was there in the previous yugas. In the Satya Yuga, Devi Devatas used to stay at one place, or the personalities who are pious, who follow the rules and regulations, who are dharmic, they stay at one side. The demons used to stay in another planet. That was Satya Yuga. There was a lot of differentiation. On the next is the Treta. Generally, Dwapara comes, then Treta comes. But when Krishna comes, it reverses. No, through Treta, they started living in the same country. Now in Dwapar, they started living in the same family. Now in Kali Yuga, they started living in the same person. That means there are good qualities, there are bad qualities in the heart. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to actually remove those anarthas. Then he was just watching, because humility is very powerful. That is a solution for everything. Humbly accepting every situation. No, we are unable to do this. We should accept humbly. My dear Lord, I'm unable to do this. Let me take more shelter, because I'm dependent on the mercy. Because I cannot do this all by myself. I'm a dependent soul. I cannot do this. You help. This is humility, accepting our situation and then submitting ourselves. That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, with that humble attitude, he was sitting on the floor. And then Prakashananda Saraswati would come and then he would call him back. Please come sit with us. Why are you sitting here? And then through the discussion, he would transform their heart. That's why a person is always required. When Srila Prabhupada was been asked, oh, you are guru for everyone. You are Jagat Guru. Everyone has to hear your words. Your guru. Then Prabhupada very humbly said, actually, I'm the servant of everyone. I'm the servant of everyone. This is the attitude which pleases the Lord. This attitude is actually the medicine for interpretations. Just like we take medicine, right? For example, we have a fever, we take a medicine. We have to take like 3 times or 4 times. And the fever is cured. What is a fever? What is a fever? What is a solution for these interpretations, which is a diseased condition? Interpreting, this might be right, this might be wrong. Oh, I know this, I know that. These are all interpretations. Oh, is this chanting of Hare Krishna working? These are all interpretations. Oh, why should I only sit and chant? Why can't I dance and chant? Or why can I sleep and chant? These are all interpretations. Or should I only be like this? All these are interpretations. One should come out of this. One should understand we should be grateful for this opportunity. Oh, somehow, after millions of lifetimes, I got this opportunity to chant Hare Krishna. I'm trying to know who Krishna is. The more we know about the Lord, dear devotees, the more we'll get an opportunity to be absorbed. Please understand. Because surrender comes through that only. Because the first step of surrender is to know the glories of the Lord. It only comes through that way, through the glories of the Lord. Please understand this. The moment we know that the Supreme Lord is so magnanimous, then we submit to them. Just understand this. Array, this the person who's source of everything, who killed Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, huh? Who became so big like Vamandev, and then he lifted Govardhan Hill. Just a small boy lifting Govardhan Hill. Is it possible to lift? A normal person can they lift? Just imagine, he's only 3 days. He killed Putana. Can anyone kill when they're 3 days? Can anyone kill a demon when they're 3 days? That's not possible. Now, this is where atheism will come. Oh, can anyone kill it in 3 days? No, this is all foolishness. Now you show me. Can we see the air? We feel the presence. Can we see our consciousness? We see the presence. From where the thoughts are coming? From the consciousness. Who is giving that? From the consciousness. The Lord is giving. The Lord has given us that intelligence. Through that intelligence, we are getting those thoughts, ideas, thinking, feeling, and willing is coming. Can we see all of them? No. We can we see what we are thinking? No. No, we cannot see. That doesn't mean that thinking is not there. No, two persons are there. One person is a literate, one person is illiterate. Now, both persons are there. We can see physically, but one person's thought process is different, the other person's thought process are different. Why? Because through his association, he's educated. So he knows what to be done, what not to be done. The other person is illiterate. He doesn't know the details of how to run a software program. He might not know that how do I run the software program? I cannot see that externally, but it is there internally. Now, when you write, then you'll realize, oh, it is coming. From where it is coming? These are all the things which we can see. Day to day life, we can see the presence of the Lord. At every moment, we can see the presence of the Lord. Then we feel indebted to Him. Oh, my dear Lord, you are there here so many times. You're coming here again and again. That means the Lord is present He's a taste of the water. Krishna is the taste of the water. Krishna is the source of everything. Krishna is the source of sunlight. Krishna is the source of moonlight. If sun and moon are not there, if the sun and moon are coming, means for whose presence? Krishna is telling that I am the source of that. Somebody should be the source. Somebody should give that authorization. Krishna says, I am that. That is the intention of Gita. Krishna confirms in Gita that I am the supreme personality of God and the source of everything. So this is realized, understood by the instructions of our acharyas. The Prabhupada says, oh, the moment you drink water, don't you feel the taste? You are feeling the taste, right? You are not seeing the feeling of the taste, but you can actually feel the taste through your consciousness. The moment you feel the taste, you understand that is Krishna. That means at every moment, so how many times we drink water? All through the day. If we have this consciousness in entered into that, which is absolute truth, then what happens? Every moment we will remember the Lord whenever we drink water. We feel that, oh, this is prasad, the Lord has accepted it. You understand? And through that we feel their presence. That's why a devotee is never alone. He's always with the Lord. He's always with the acharyas. He's always with the words and the instructions of his spiritual master. He's never alone. Devotee is never alone, actually. His mood, his mentality is all with the Lord. He's not alone. We are not alone, actually. Now, when this is there, why interpretations will come? Interpretation is a diseased condition. The medicine is absolute truth. When we take the absolute truth more and more, why interpretation will come? No. And then the seventh offense is very important. Seven, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the chanting of the Holy Name. It's very powerful. This is a big offense. That means through the desires, through the attachments, we are using the holy names. Just like if a person has a mentality to use the people in this world, then he'll use the same mentality to use holy names for that. We'll discuss more about seventh offense. But coming back to the sixth one, the interpretations can be given up when we understand the glories of the Lord, when we know His magnanimity, His power. The Lord is fully opulent. He is most knowledgeable. Just by seeing His words in Gita, we can understand how knowledgeable He is. He gives everything, how this world is created, what kind of problems one will get, how do one come out of those problems. He assures, he confirms again and again that I am the supreme source, I am the supreme person. Ashraddha dhana purusha dharmasya parantapa aprapyamam nivartante mrityu samsara vartamani. Krishna is confirming, Ashraddha, if you are taking this process without faith, without Shraddha, Ashraddha, Dhana Purusha, Dharmasya Paranta, then he will fall into the cycle of birth and death. Aprapyamam nivartante mrityu samsara vartamani. When the Shraddha is not convinced, when the Shraddha is not fixed up, Shraddha has to be on the top. When that Shraddha becomes Ashraddha, Ashraddha means weak heart, weak. When the heart is weak, what happens? Cannot follow the teachings. What happens is when the heart is weak, then what happens is following the instructions will become weak. Because heart only becomes weak when we do not have a connection. Just like a tree, just like a plant doesn't have any water, it becomes weak because it has the life air is going away because it's becoming weak, it's getting dried up because there is sunlight coming. But if the same plant, it is being fed water, even though the sun is there, if it is fed water, then the same sun will become nourishment because it has right amount of everything. Likewise, when the faith and conviction is not strong, then what happens? Then the truth will become bitter. The truth will become what? It will become bitter. This we need to understand. That's how interpretations will come. Because interpretations only come when for sadhaka doesn't have taste in the process. He questions, he inquires out of frustration. Now he can question, inquire in a humble way. That is also there. Because unless until the questioning is not happening, we cannot come out of that state. For example, if a person goes to the doctor and then he says, can you give, the doctor would ask, can you tell me what problem you have? And he is unable to express, then the doctor cannot help him. We should be open. So likewise, if we are open in the process to understand, and if we have any problems or any issues when we express them, then what happens? Then we can actually come out of them. Because this interpretation is a diseased state. It will not help. It will not help in advancing in Krishna consciousness. Rather, it will stop our advancement. Because what are we doing what are we trying to do? We're trying to interpret. Oh, Krishna says he is there in the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Is he really there? He says he's there. Acharyas are telling he's there. If we just do it, we will also realize that. We don't have to do new research. Whatever our acharyas are telling, if we just follow that, this is free from interpretation. This is not blindly accepting your devotees. You understand the truth, know it, put it in the application, then you yourself will realize that. You will get that experience. No, then at that moment you cannot stay without chanting. You cannot stay without hearing. You cannot stay without understanding or without taking the shelter of Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. You cannot stay. Because what is happening? Experiences are coming. Who will get experiences? Who will hear very attentively and then who will follow those things? Just like Arjuna, he heard the words of the Lord, and then Lord showed him the universal form. That's the experience which Krishna gave to Arjuna. So likewise, the same experience Krishna is ready to give us. All we need to do is we need to simply follow them. That's all. Then we get experience for sure. Hare Krishna. I would like to stop here. Anyone would like to add anything? Any questions? Would like to share anything? Any reflections? Because the more you think about these things, dear devotees, the more you'll understand. See, Shraddha is the key. If Shraddha is not there, this thing will happen. Either we stay in the internal energy or we stay in the external energy. Dualism cannot work in Krishna consciousness. For example, even though if I'm doing an action for the pleasure of the Lord, but still internally my intention is not that. Externally people might see that I'm doing it for the Lord, but internally my intention might be something else. Like, my dear Lord, I'm doing this, but you have to give this. That itself is an obstruction which will put us in the external energy. Because, my dear Lord, I'm doing this, but I want this also. That means a tinge of karmakanda is coming. Okay, Krishna, I will do this, but I want this. It has to come to the state of Hayatuki. A Hayatuki state will only come when we understand, as we discussed, about the glories of the Lord. When a person understands the glories of the Lord, then he will know. Who is most knowledgeable? Who has that amount of knowledge? Now, do we see any book, any any person written like Bhagavad Gita? No. No, the world has advanced so much. Do we see anyone working or actually explaining what are subtle elements, how subtle things would work? No. Can anyone perceive how modes would work? No. Because it's not seen, but it is working in the background. We can clearly see there is goodness, there is passion, there is ignorance. The three modes, it is there. But who can perceive that? The person who has created, he has to tell us. That is what Krishna is telling in Gita. Now that kind of a book is not there. So amazing. One sloka is the solution to all the problems in this world. Not even 700 slokas, just one sloka. Solution to all the problems in this world. Just understand this. Just beautiful actually. Maya Sakta Manapartha. Krishna simply says, just cultivate asakti on me. Just forget everything. Just cultivate asakti. I'll take care of you. Now, who in this world will give that kind of assurance? No, nobody. Nobody can give. No one has spoken like this before. Now, Bhuto no Bhavishyat, it will not come in the past, it will not come in the future. So the relationship between the Lord and his devotees is very intimate. It's like Narottam Das Thakur Maharaj is explaining in today's bhajan. He's praying to the Manjaris that please, I want to serve them. Just see that very innocent attitude. Approach the way he's approaching, very innocently approaching. Please give me an opportunity. This is Hare Krishna. I'd like to stop here. Thank you all very much. Unless anyone would like to add anything.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Dhanavad Pranam all Krishna Srila Prabhupada. Yes, Prabhuji, what you discussed, faith is very important. Then Shraddha will come. And also, Prabhuji, without duality. Just chanting without duality is very important. Like loving Krishna is also will give us to reduce that duality. When we love some, not, I mean, just mundane example, that loving will actually increase our faith, our eagerness to serve. And also, Prabhuji, another thing is like just to add that we can chant anytime. As you said, like can we chant dancing, sleeping? Yeah, we can chant during when we dance, we sleep. Anytime we can chant. So, Prabhuji, that's what I just like to add. Like we do not. I mean, any phase, any state, we can chant the holy name. And that's what I just Prabhuji like to add. If at that's my understanding, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Harinam can be done continuously. It's coming through the consciousness. So when one understands and realizes that yes, the Lord is present, then he will continuously chant. Then he will always think what I should do, what more I should do. He will not think that I've done so much. He will think that what more can be done. So he understands that relationship gives him everything. Just like Prahlad Maharaj, he was not seeing, oh, my father is giving me so many troubles. He's not counting the number of troubles, but rather he's taking shelter and more, and then seeing the presence of the Lord in those troubles. That is the greatness of these personalities. At every moment they're seeing them. Very, very important. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam. Dear devotees, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Please tell.
Very appropriate Katha Prabhuji this morning, very nice class. Encouraging, giving me the encouragement, even though I'm down right now. I'm taking in the class very attentively and would apply accordingly, Prabhuji. Thank you so very much. Greatly appreciate all devotees. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you. Thank you for joining. Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Jai Hare Krishna, Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you for the wonderful lecture, Prabhuji, and thank you for the wonderful bhajan, Vamsi Vilas.